sun's gone in. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, so you've just seen my boots. I'm going to go over like a few tips and tricks that you could kind of, or you should take into consideration before you actually purchase your first pair of Dr. Martens boots. One of them being, and you'll probably hear this over and over and over again, wear thick socks. And I mean it, wear thick socks. Now, the only reason why I said these shoes are special, these blue ones, is because they're actually one size bigger than my foot, and I have literally worn these for about 20 minutes. That's how long I've actually worn them for. The reason being is because of the fact that they're so big, and the heel from this part where the stitching is, it's actually quite hard. I don't know if you can hear that compared to up there. It's quite hard here to kind of keep your heel in place, and then at the front there you've got where it's all been kind of stitched together just here. On the inside you actually have the rest of the material, so whatever you do, if you do purchase them, don't cut it off. Whatever you do, that's there for a reason. If you cut it, you will end up damaging the boot, and you don't want to do that. But if you have a Dr. Martens boot that is one size too big for you, you will know, because you'll have not only loads of space up here in the front, but then the heel will end up rubbing on like the back of your foot. I'm not going to show you my foot, I'm sorry, it's just weird. It rubs on the back of your heel, and I had blisters for like 2 weeks, and I was just so pissed. But the problem was, the only reason why I couldn't return them is because I'd already worn them, and the store that I bought them from were an independent merchant, so I could have considered taking them back, but by the time I'd taken them back, they already looked too worn to be resold, if that makes sense. So I kept them. So they've only had like a livable life of about 20 minutes, and I'm trying my hardest to sell them. I've been trying to sell them for ages, but nothing seems to be happening, so I think I'm just going to put them up on eBay, or unless you guys want them, that would be great, just let me know and I'll give you the details. But that's probably the main worry, getting blisters. So make sure you wear thick socks. Make sure that if you can, go down to a store and get fitted by a professional. Otherwise, you find that you end up getting more problems with the boot than you actually intended, i.e. blisters. On top of that, if you, like me, have quite wide feet, so the length of the shoe itself is not a problem, but you find that when you go shopping for other shoes, you have to buy like 1 or 2 sizes bigger than what you are, you'll be quite surprised that you feel like your foot's been on a diet once you've put one of these on. I swear to God. I'm so used to wearing, because I've got really massive feet and they're really wide, I'm so used to wearing, just for the sake of comfort, for the width of my feet, over and over and over again, size 8 and possibly size 9 in like shoes or boots or flip-flops. But when I went to Dr. Martens, my true size, I could actually fit into it. My true size is a size 7, which is like this. It's not too chunky, it's not too big, and it works quite well for somebody of my height. I'm 5'9", but loads of people keep telling me I'm 5'10", but I don't know. I think that's just my fro, that just adds the extra inch. But to be honest, I felt like I'd gone through a diet or something. My foot, I was just so happy. I was like, oh my God, my foot's lost weight. So yeah, make sure you get like measured for it. And then on top of that, probably one of the main things that you always need to take into consideration is various techniques in how to, like in various techniques in breaking into your boots. One of my favourite techniques, I'll pick with this one because this is fairly new and I still haven't worn it. I've only worn it like once, and you know, once is not really a long time. Wear them indoors for roughly up to 2 hours every day for about maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But you have to stick to wearing them indoors, because if you can walk around on carpet and then walk onto something hard like bathroom tiles or whatnot, you change the surface, which is great, which is also good for your foot, and it helps you bounce because they actually have air soles, so you won't be pressing down with your heel too much on the ground, which is a good thing because you want them to be comfortable. And also, when you do have time, because you'll be wearing them indoors, they won't get dirty that quick, which means that you can sit down every so often and just kind of bend the front like this, just scrunch up ever so gently, be rough. Just do that, or if your boyfriend's pissing you off, then just be like, this this will be your balls, or just something like that. It'll be funny. Or the other way around, just, you know, tell her that it'll be her boobs. Just squish them like so, and then the heel is always the hardest to try and crack. I never get this because it's so tough. I think there's like several layers of leather on the inside of that. I'm not entirely sure, but it's incredibly tough, so you don't want to get a blister from the heel. That kills like a bitch. But it's always nice to kind of just press down ever so gently, like so, and then you may want to do it from the inside too. So just kind of put your hand in like that and then push up against the leather so it's coming out. I don't know if you can see that. It kind of helps the boot just kind of break, really, and just give it a good twist. That kind of helps loosen it up a little bit, and it also helps if you do the Vaseline technique, which is what I learned from a friend when I was wearing these back in lower school, where she'd put like a little bit of Vaseline on the inside, especially around the heel. If it was warm Vaseline, that'd be great, but if it's just, you know, ordinary cold Vaseline, that's fine. You only need a little bit at a time. Just pour a little bit in on the heel and then kind of squish it up, and then just kind of leave it for a while. It will slowly soak into the leather like it does when you put it on your lips, and then it will hopefully make the leather a lot softer than it needs to be. But do it on the inside, because the inside's a lot more rough and it will take to the Vaseline much better than you would if you put it on the outside. Otherwise it will just kind of polish it and make it look good rather than helping it fit your foot. For me, I was kind of lucky. We've got patients at work who have their own motorised wheelchairs, so I just got them every time I had like a new Dr. Martens boot. I'd be like, "Oi, you, run over my foot!" So they would. So they'd run over my foot. But these ones, as you can see, are incredibly warm. I love them so much. So that's that. What else is there? Oh, going back to walking around the house. If you walk around the house every day for 2 hours, up to 2 hours, they recommend, for a few weeks, just so you can get a feel for them, so you can get used to the weight of them, so that your body can actually kind of align itself to them. Because believe it or not, I have feet that naturally, they never stand straight on the ground when I'm walking. Every pair of shoe I've got tends to wear at the side, so my feet naturally just do that, and I'm so used to walking like that. Plus I also have bow legs, which doesn't help, but these actual original orthopedic shoes will actually kind of help to straighten up your legs, so that's another great benefit of them. They're actually very healthy for you, and it's great if you want to like put a little bit of weight in your calves and whatnot and go running in them. You'll get used to them. It's great. But if your feet start to hurt any time within that 2 hour restriction, take them off immediately. It's important that you get your feet back to normal as soon as you can, so just take them off. It could be down to the fact that laces could be too tight for you. The heel may be rubbing against your heel, which will give you a really bad blister. It could be the top bit up here. Whatever it is, just take them off. Do another technique, like I said, with the stretching, and then hopefully after a few more weeks of you getting used to it, then you should be fine. You should be absolutely fine. You'll be able to run in them like I can run down the street in 6-inch heels. No, 4-inch heels. Had to think then, what? But you'll get used to them in no time, especially with the weight of them, because they are incredibly heavy, and if you're not used to wearing heavy boots, it can be quite a struggle at first, so just beware. Just kind of do this, jump around, as you can see from the side, and just try and get a really good useful, kind of get your own weight in there, get your weight distribution kind of balanced out, because these boots are actually incredibly tough. They're also incredibly heavy if you're not used to them. But I was in the Army Cadets for a while, so wearing boots like this is totally normal for me. Just kind of get your mind into it, and then kind of practice walking like an absolute sausage for a while. Really, really concentrating on bending your foot. And the more you practice, but other than that, they are the best investment you can get. As far as I know, I think they're already on sale. The new spring-summer collection for 2012 are now officially out. Dr. Martens also have a clothing store, and I am getting ready to click buy and buy quite a few of their outfits, and then I can show you all in another Dr. Martens haul, tutorial, video, whatevs. And hopefully that will make some sense to you guys. So thanks very much for watching. But what I'd really like now is to see your boots, because I would love to put them up on my blog and just be like, Dr. Marten boots, collaborative all over the world, and just be all kind of weird, and Dr. Marten's like, yeah. So I love these boots. I'm going to put these back on and disappear. Anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, stay tuned. Oh, how dumb. Dumb.